You can't stop me now. Can't stop me now. My feet have come too far for you.
Get more W, that Gentlest energy drink mix that's going to power you through your gaming, content creation, whatever you're doing. It's there for you. Enter that promo code BrianB NRG and get 10% off your order today. Get more W, get more power.
Yes, you are. Yes, you are. Yes, you are the only one. 'Cause there's something special about you.
People, what's good? What's happening? What's up? There's my camera. That's right. It's me, Brian B. We back at it. Yo, check it out, man. I don't know what's going on my week, but I literally was about to record a show, and I'm like, wait a minute. I don't got to do it live. I can just do it whatever. And I'm like, wait a minute. It's Tuesday, baby. We supposed to be live. That's right. What's good, everybody? It's Tuesday night. It's 9 p.m. Eastern time, so you know it's time for my ass to be sitting here talking to y'all through the screen. It's the Beeline Web Show. Let's go. That's right. Show that started it all. Thank you guys so much for watching and following every week. We've had an amazing year. Listen, we're counting down to episode 100 of the Beeline Web Show. Listen, man, it's very exciting. I have a couple shows, so we've been recording for a while. What up, Ray? How you doing, Ray? Ray catching early. What up, Ray? We got to get Ray back on for the wrestling, man. Speaking of wrestling, listen, we got a guest with us tonight. We got a guest been on the show before. This is his first time on the web show. I'm really excited to have him on. We're going to get to know him a lot on this episode. But listen, guys, like I said, we almost to episode 100 of this show that started it all. This was the first show that I did going on 4 years ago. And I'm very excited. You know, we've had the entertainment show. We got Live on the Line. We've had Straight Through the Ropes Wrestle Talk. Like, we've had so many different shows, different, context. But this show right here, man, we about to be here. I miss you too, Ray. We got to get you back on, yo. Ray, we need the crew back. We got two members on the line for the Wrestle Talk tonight. But listen, guys, listen. Yo, listen, we got a lot of stuff going on. I'm super excited. I can't wait for you guys to get to know Mr. Derrick T. Lewis. Oh, I just told you his name. I didn't even introduce you yet. Yo, but listen, we gonna talk. But first, before we do that, we gotta make sure we do this. Let's go!
Straight to the point, baby.
It's going down in
3, 2, 1.
People, that's your boy!
Brian B.
Let's go.
Back on the Beeline. I'm looking forward to it. I'm so excited.
Is the influence you have.
Again with Rangers!
You gotta be a clean baby's ass.
Hold on real quick.
Knows the hands of fate.
People, it's your boy, Brian B. Welcome to the Beeline Web Show. Let's go! My mic is muted. I don't even know everything going on. But yo, I'm excited. I'm having a good day today. But thank you guys so much for all the love and support. If you haven't already, like, share, subscribe, do all that great shit. We're gonna get to know somebody on this episode. We've seen him on a bunch of episodes here on the Beeline. Definitely a friend, fellow Jersey in the building, baby. That's right. We're gonna get to know, yo. We know. Let me know whenever. Yes, Ray, you definitely coming back. Ray's over there in the crowd tonight. Ray be on the screen with your boy. But yo, listen, check it out, guys. We got some somebody that's coming on with me that I've been very happy to share the screen with and stuff like that. Amazing guy, does so much, man. Very talented, and of course he hosts a podcast, man. It's been a tradition recently on the Beeline where we've been talking with podcasters, man. People who have podcasts. I think we've had one Talking with Strangers episode so far, but everybody has been on a podcast, and we finally had somebody break the streak or whatever. I was supposed to play that one tonight. If somebody broke the winning streak on Straight Off the Dome, so we're gonna see if Derrick T. Lewis can bring it back for us tonight. He gonna join the crew. But ladies and gentlemen, without further ado, we got my boy, the singer himself, the ring announcer, the interviewer. Yo, what else he got? He got a million jobs. Mr. Derrick T. Lewis. What up, D?
Thank you for the incredible introduction, sir. You are a scholar. You are a gem. That's what you are.
Man, listen, you're making me feel good. You see, I already feel good, man. You're helping on.
Absolutely.
What up, D? How's it going, brother, man?
Things are good. Obviously, this year has been a whirlwind. A lot of stuff, going on. Really, since January, things has been moving. With the relaunch of the podcast, the Wheel of Fortune thing, going out to WrestleMania to cover for a week, and working on the new single that just dropped about a month ago. So just a lot of, and I would say podcasts, with keeping up with that. It's been challenging, but I mean that in a very, very good way. Yeah, because it definitely keeps you on your toes in regards to how you navigate and how you compartmentalize everything and which hierarchy as far as what's important that particular day. So it definitely teach me that for sure.
That's awesome, bro. Yeah, man. Congratulations on all your success, man. Like you just said, everything you just said, I want to touch on. So we definitely gonna hit each one. But I remember, I always say this one thing about you. I'm gonna say it to begin the show. So everybody watching right now, listen. Derrick T. Lewis came on. And one of the first episodes we did was he had a whole episode where he pretty much introduced himself. He did everything. And I forgot what happened. But that episode got jacked up. And I lost it. And I was like, what the hell, man? This guy just came on here with all this interesting information, all this stuff, whatever. The next episode he did was a wrestling talk. And we did it Straight Through the Ropes podcast. And we talked wrestling. And this is when Roman Reigns first started his title reign. And I'm telling you right now, that's damn 3 years ago, right? And I remember saying, it was right at Royal Rumble. I think we were doing a Royal Rumble cover. And I was like, man, I hope he lose this. He can't go on with this. And Derrick T. Lewis, my man right here, said, man, I hope he has just some epic reign. And ever since then, I'm like, yo, Derrick, wish that shit to existence. Because he has. I always credit you for that shit, bro. I'm like, yo, my boy Derrick called that shit a long time ago. But
I just felt that the way that he was being presented, he needed this title run, because I think to ultimately wipe away the dust that was the big dog, to wipe away the grime and the just all the nastiness that was the big dog, he needed this run to wipe all of that away, and he has surpassed everything that he's done prior to 2020. Taking nothing away from anything he did, prior to that, but this run has been historic. I think it's a run that we hadn't seen in 35 years. I'm old enough to remember the last man to hold the title greater than 3 years, and that was Hulk Hogan. You know what I mean? He held that belt for 4 years, and I think maybe like 2 weeks or something like that. But the fact that we're seeing such a historic title run, not just from Roman, but heck, Gunther just surpassed 1 year as he broke the Honky Tonk Man's record as the Intercontinental Champion. So I mean, there's so much I think that they're rewriting history as we're moving forward, and I think 10, 15, 20 years down the line, we're going to look at this time period and saying, man, we were living through one of the greatest wrestling booms ever.
Yeah, I absolutely agree with you. What I'm going to do right now, though, is I'm going to halt because I got to talk about everything else you do, bro. We going to get into wrestling, and you can forget about it. The crowd, listen, y'all just be watching Straight Through the Ropes because that's what it's going to turn into. But listen, I want to get to know Derrick T. Lewis on this episode. I want you guys to get to know him. This guy's amazing. One of the first things about the first episode we did, and he told me his character and different things that he does to, stay in the industry. And I mean, it spoke to me. Believe it or not, Derrick, I was literally just telling my son in the car driving about your story of how you push for your success, yo. And I was telling him, like, we're gonna get to know you. Let's go ahead and definitely start by just letting you introduce yourself again. It's been a little while since you've been on the channel, and first time you're on the web show. So go ahead, man, introduce yourself.
Sure. Derrick T. Lewis, born and raised in the great state of New Jersey, now residing in Delaware, the first state. To kind of give you all, some background on me, my parents were in the industry, the music industry. That's how they met, in the late 60s, and they got married in 1970, and thus I came along. I mean, my sister was born 3 years later than 5 years later after that I came along, and my mom completely stopped because she wanted to have the family. And then my dad passed away 13 years ago today, so this one's for my dad, but he went on to be one of the members of the Drifters, and he did it for about 15-20 years. He was a part of the group off and on. And I always had this, this inkling of wanting to do something in entertainment. What that was, obviously at 4 years old, I saw a movie and I didn't know what the context was about, because 4 years old, can you comprehend? But all I saw was an incredible performance, and that's what drew me in. And that's when I said to myself that I wanted to be an actor. And I would get these gumptions to want to get involved, and I just didn't know how. I wanted to be in the music industry, you know what I mean? And it was just so many things. And I had to really take a step back, and I just kind of fast forward to like 2009, and we'll backtrack as well. These just kind of give you a broad view as far as where I've been and where I'm at now.
Yeah, please.
But summer of 09, having a summer of my life, you know what I mean? Having fun, partying and all that. And then I can just remember my best friend who was in a rock band. I was going to all their gigs. You can call me the honorary member of Even a Slept. I was always around. And my best friend, ever since I known him, he always said he wanted to be in a rock band. And I had to see, he had a smile on his face when he was performing. And I remember driving home that night saying, I need to get off my ass and do something. And I remember waking up the next day deciding that I'm going to go with this. I'm going to go with, this acting thing, and I'm going to try my best. And I started looking around for school, started looking around for different places. And I took an acting class in Philly with January 12th of 2010. I started, and about 3 months. And then I think a couple months after that, I went to my very first movie audition in Chicago. Took a Greyhound bus out there, and it was hustling and bustling, ever since. Obviously a movie here, TV show there, background here, getting featured there. Yeah. Then that bled into music, you know what I mean, of getting involved in, as far as doing my first record that I put out in 2016. And that led to the podcasting happening in 2014. Then I stopped after 7 episodes, took a 9-year hiatus. Didn't, I was like, I could have relaunched it whenever I felt like it. But I felt as though I needed to be in the right headspace. It needed to be the right situation before I could ever do another podcast episode. And I think I needed to build these relationships with music and with acting. Then 2018, I get involved in the wrestling industry as a ring announcer. And I think it was just, it allowed me to really piece together all of the loose ends. And then realizing, okay, now it's time to relaunch the podcast. And then this past January 19th, I launched the podcast. So that is basically the 4 pieces of my pie, so to speak. Luciete Music is really with podcasting, music, film and television, and pro wrestling. So that's pretty much, that makes me who I am.
I want to ask you, man, because like even with your story, like and thank you for like the dialogue, like literally, like you put us in great position to kind of pick it apart. Yeah. But hearing people when they're doing like a lot, you know what I'm saying? Like I share like the love and entertainment field and the industry, kind of grew up in it as well. Right. Hearing when somebody's doing a lot, the first thing you start to think, especially the critique, is, well, can you handle all that? Like, how are you going to do so much? Like you want to be an actor, you want to be a singer, you want to be a podcast, you want to be like, how did you find those challenges? You know what I'm saying? Like the hustle and the bustle. I know, like you said, taking Greyhounds and having to do everything you got to do. Like, did you find it hard to balance all of the things that you wanted to juggle?
I'll be honest with you. I'm a weird dude. And I say that with the most in the most complimentary way, because all I've ever known was hard work.
Gotcha.
And nothing's gonna ever be handed to you. When people are looking for, I think people that are in much privileged circles can look from afar and see somebody really juggling all these things.
Yeah.
That's how you're able. That's how they gravitate towards you. So I'll give you an example. When the first time I think someone really asked me about how do I juggle, I had this dirty secret that I was an actor. No one knew. Man, some people at my as I say, my shoot job that I would not mention on this air, but they I think, God, I'm trying to think when this was. This is 2013 now. I had an audition for a movie called Draft Day.
I know that movie.
I auditioned.
I know that movie.
And you're gonna flip your gourd when I tell you who got the role that I auditioned for. Chadwick Boseman got the part of Vontae Mack. True story.
Black Panther. Okay.
Yeah, and I remember, it was a long week because you figure WrestleMania was that weekend. I had just did a TV show for Celebrity Crime Files that previous Thursday, so it was just a crazy couple of days. I had a show that I had did called Deceived was coming on TV One that same night that I did Draft Day. Well, actually, no, I'm sorry. It came on that Monday night. Tuesday, I had the audition for Draft Day. I go back to my job Wednesday. I get up and I'm walking in, and people in their cubicles, and they see me walking in, and they're like, everyone's clapping. I'm just like, okay, what the frick did I just walk into? And then everyone's like, oh my God, we saw you on TV. And I'm just like, oh, shh. And the first question, but here's the thing. People were asking, like, how on earth, how are you able to do that? Because of course, what did people do? They go online and they search you. And they go to my IMDb page, was reading up on me, website, social media, the whole nine. And people were like, I guess, confused, excited, confused again, because they're like, how are you, like, you have a regular job and you're doing this and you're doing that? And I'm just, my thing is, I saw a mom, which is my mom, raise me and my sister by herself.
Yeah.
And I had the perfect role model of what to do and not even thinking about it. Because I think when you begin to think and overthink it, that's when you freak yourself out.
Gotcha. Yeah.
That's about the perfect advice I have for anybody that might be juggling. And I hope I didn't go off the rails there, but I just really feel, but that was kind of the first time someone asked me, how do you juggle? And then of course you're adding podcasting onto that. Then the music thing came a few years later. Then, and I look at this as, this is stuff that's fun for me. Yeah. I don't treat it as a hobby. Don't get me wrong. This is not a hobby. This is something that I want to do. But if you're having fun doing what you love to do, then it's not work. And I don't see it as work. I see it as an outlet to let my creative juices just go wherever it wants to go.
Roam free.
Absolutely. And that's the beauty of it, man. That's what it's all about.
I definitely completely agree with you. Even with your clarification of that question, like you said it, when you're doing something and it's something that you enjoy, when you're clocking in your 9 to 5, that's work. Anything else around that, like you hear, are you doing this? You got that going on? You doing that? It is a job. It is a task. Like, I've noticed it even with me doing just a podcast and working my job. Like, I hate it. That's why I was trying so hard to get away from a 9 to 5, the first time. But at the same time, it's like you understand when I'm doing the podcast stuff, I'm definitely working. I'm tired some days. I don't want to, stay up and do extra stuff. But I love it. So it's like, it's not challenging to do it.
No,
in a bad way, basically. It's not challenging. So I can understand you completely. You enjoying that thing. So it's like you're spending time doing something that you love.
Indeed.
So I definitely understand it, man. But that's awesome. Yeah, you've been on a lot of different things, man. I mean, one of the first stories that I really enjoyed that you told me was how you get your parts and things like that. Like, you know, the different type of levels that you basically are the guy who shows up. And that's, like I said, like I was telling my son, like, I know a guy, he just goes and makes it happen. And that's, I'm always saying that shit. Man, you gotta make it happen, yo. No matter what, no matter how much you think you can't, you gotta make it happen. And that story really inspired. Like, share that, man. Like, share how you kind of, like, you know, find your roles and find the people that you speak with, and, you know, bump elbows and stuff like that.
Well, I'll be honest. The first movie that I ever did was an independent film called Chess Boxing. Shout out to director Rafiq Khan, producers Ishmael Muhammad. I was just so gung-ho when I first started in 2010. I started, you know, sending out for, you know, roles, you know, on backstage.com, there's Actors Access, there's casting networks. So I was just sending and mind you, I had no resume. I had only thing that was on my resume was my name and my stats. That's it. I had nothing. And my training, of course, as far as where I took my classes. Yeah. So after the Chicago thing, that sailed, you know, as far as I didn't get the role there, but it was just the experience of it was a test, you know, to see if I was willing to go above and beyond on a last minute notice to say, I got to get out of here. I got to go to an audition or whatever. And boom. So I got it wasn't so much of an audition, but they needed background extras. It was no pay. I didn't care. But the movie Chess Boxing, they wanted to do this club scene. So basically I was going to be waiting in line with all the patrons trying to get inside this club. So I called Adrian Farr, who is a casting director for this movie. Shout out to Adrian. Hope you're doing well. And you know, I hit her up. I said, hey, you guys are filming on a Sunday night. I said, parking's free in the city on Sundays, right? She was like, yeah, why? I said, oh, I'm told her I'm coming about 2 hours away. She was like, wait a minute. You sure you want to do this? I'm like, yeah. She's like, you do realize this is no money? I said, I'm very, very aware. I said, I'm just going to show up. And she was like, okay, I'm glad you told me. So I go up that Sunday night, and I brought about a good, 6 or 7 different looks, just in case. You know, it's one thing they always say, you know, no matter what, it's always good to over prepare than to under prepare.
It's true. So
I get there, you know, I'm waiting. I forgot the name of this bar. It's in Soho. And, you know, we're going about it, and we're waiting. We have to fill out paperwork, yada, yada. And I don't know. It's getting, because I think call time may have been about 8 o'clock at night on Sunday night. And we go to look around as far as, okay, what, you know, everyone's doing. But then Adrian's like, you, come here. She's like, come now. And I'm like, okay. I go see the director. She said, say hello to him. I'm like, hi, how are you? He was like, and he brought the producer over. They said, hey, look, how long you been acting? I said, 7 months. You know what I mean? I was just like, not much. 7 months. He said, okay, what clothing in the color black do you have? I said, a blazer, a button-down shirt, pants. He's like, stop what you're doing. You're now the bouncer. You got lines to learn. Go downstairs and get dressed now. I did a beeline, no pun intended, like down the stairs to in clothing. I'm getting changed. They gave me my script. There's this. Okay, we need you to go to hair and makeup. So they go to makeup, and it's hot as balls out there. Dude, it's like 95 degrees and it's humid. And this is an exterior scene we're doing. Yeah, you know what I mean? It's an exterior scene we're doing. We're outside. I'm playing this bouncer, and I'm learning lines while they're patting me down in makeup and making sure I'm not sweating and this and that, whatever. Make sure I'm things are not wrinkled, all that stuff. Yeah. So I go, and I'm there because this is other guy that's a bouncer too. And basically what happened was Yark Levinson, shout out to Yark Levinson. He was bouncer 1, I was bouncer 2. But the dude that was playing bouncer 2, the reason why that they gave me the role last minute, I might add, was because he thought, oh, they're gonna have clothing for me. And dude, this is it's an independent film with some money behind it. But you know, in those instances, you got to bring your own stuff. You know what I mean? Yeah, for sure. And he was cool with it. He ended up helping out on set. You know, he was a good, you know, I guess he was a good sport for it. And we're shooting them where you know I didn't have time to like think about anything. I just had to just okay, these are the lines, boom, 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 boom. We did some rehearsal takes, and I think we ended up shooting till about 4 a.m. and they wrapped me. They said, "Give it up for Derrick T. Lewis." We're wrapping them, and everyone's clapping, and the director was like, "Dude, you have no idea how much of a jam you got us out of." And I was just like, "Wow!" And I just remember driving through the Holland Tunnel, going home, and I had my moonroof open. I was just trying to process what had just happened. I said, "Dude, I just filmed a movie tonight."
Yeah,
like it was independent and all. It was great, but it was just the experience of just being able to, you know, bet on yourself, and you know, you never know what a contact would lead to.
Bro.
You know what I mean? And there's another story where I think a month later, I shot a film in Connecticut called Herman and Shelley by this director, Bridget Stokes. And I went up there on my own dime. You know what I mean? I got a hotel the night before, got the set, I think, before most of the people got there. I think we had like 7 a.m. call time. And basically, you know, we're waiting around, you know, I'm helping up unload stuff. I'm a featured extra, but I mean, I'm still helping out. And, you know, the woman, she felt so bad. She said, "Dude, I didn't realize you were really coming from Delaware." Like, she gave me like $20 just for like, just I guess because she really felt bad. Get gas or something or whatever. But you know, it showed my commitment. But there was a woman on production. Her name is Louise Joby. Shout out to Louise. I love you. I hope you're doing great. And her and I just clicked like right away, and we kept in contact, and we still, as we're in contact today. 3 years later, she's working on production for a studio in Stamford, Connecticut that produced Are We There Yet? And the soap operas One Life to Live and All My Children, which can be seen on Hulu, not on ABC.
Gotcha.
And I want to say this is maybe mid-May of 2013. She shot me a text. She's like, "Hey, do me a favor, send me your headshot resume and your reel." I was like, "Okay." Did that. She said, "You're gonna get a phone call in a little while." Because I knew where she was, you know, she was working. She was like, "On my One Life to Live, they're looking for a bouncer or whatever. You know, it's featured. You can get a SAG waiver and all that stuff." And I think the actual casting director herself was like, "Well, where does he live?" And she said, "Delaware." And she was like, "Well, how is he going to get up here?" And Louise remembered the story. Well, he actually came up here 3 years ago to do an independent film on his own dime. So it's not always who's willing to say they know, it's not about who you know, but it's who's willing to say that they know you and talk about you. Because when they talk about you in these rooms, just understand, it's like, listen, as long as you have integrity, as long as you have great work ethic, that's what you have, and that's your reputation.
Yeah.
And that's what.
Listen, bro. I'm so happy that you told that story. In my opinion, even better than you did the first time, because it really is super important, man. Especially in the entertainment industry, man. A lot of times, like, you know, I think we just recently learned with this whole, the whole strike and everything like that. That is, you know, thankfully, Beeline, you know, strike is finally over. So people are starting to get back to work now, and that's a great thing for sure. But I think we live in this kind of false sense of reality when it comes to, like, you know, people on TV and people in movies and stuff like that. Like, you think these guys are rolling in dough, man. And it shows, like, you know, it's definitely a lucrative industry. Like, there are people who are making millions, and there are people who are making nothing. Literally.
Nothing. You're right. Yeah.
Yeah. And it's interesting because you tell that story, and you tell it so well, of the importance of, and it sounds crazy, but honestly, not worrying about the money. Like, you know, the people, I tell this to my cousin Lamar Tyree. He's got an album out right now, and I'm not trying to say don't worry about money, you know what I'm saying? But
shout out to
him. I just got done telling him that, like, you know, hey, listen, whatever you do, man, don't worry about the money right now, bro. Do it for every other reason than that, because people are going to see that. They're going to see that you're showing up 20, 30 minutes early, building the tables, helping catering. And they're going to look at that. And they're going to be like, this guy, who is this dude? Why is he here? Yeah. And that's why your story always, like, teaches me, bro. Like, just show up, yo. Just show up.
It's you know what it is, too. And again, I learned those, you know, values and principles before I even got to the wrestling industry, and that's basically what the wrestling industry is about. Just show up.
Yeah.
You know what I
Very
mean?
true.
And like even me, I'm not too good to not help set up chairs before shows or put
For
the
real.
chairs back or help set up the ring. Like
Yeah.
I actually know now how to set up the wrestling ring because they
Yeah.
took the time to show me. And because I'm a ring out, that I'm not exempt from any of that. You know what
Yeah.
I mean?
Yeah,
So
for sure.
thank you, Danny Cage, for that. But the point is, it's all about what the work. It's all about you have to build your foundation. You have to network, and the one word that's important in networking is work. You have to put in the work in networking
Bust your
because
ass.
yeah, absolutely. Because to me, like I said, it's not about who you know because you can know a bunch of people, but they're not going to do jack for you. They're not entitled to.
That's right. They don't have
But
to.
if you but if you show people and not doing it for clout reasons, but you're just being a quality human being and willing to, you know, hey man, I'm going to work. I'm showing you I'm willing to work hard without really verbalizing it because people could talk a good game. They can say, "Oh, I'm going to do this. I'm gonna." I'm one of those guys where it's like, look, you give me a task, I'm gonna bust my ass to not only me, I'm going to exceed the expectations because I'm going to show you what I can do, and that is what got me. And again, am I where I want to be? Hell no, nowhere close. But I'm a lot further along than where I was.
And we're gonna talk about that too, because getting on, like your beginning story is great, bro. I love your beginning story, and I love how you kind of just segued that a little bit because honestly, you're saying like we opened up like with WrestleMania, and I mean this is crazy accomplishments, man. You were on Wheel of Fortune, and we're gonna get to all that, Beeline. We're definitely gonna get to all that, but I wanted to kind of jump in before we jump. Like I said, wrestling, I want to try to move as last as possible because I know it's a big topic for both of us. Yeah. But with your music, acting has definitely been incredible. Congratulations on all your success that you've been doing with your. Do you have any new jobs coming up now or?
Honestly, no. I mean, out of respect to everyone in the film industry, I ceased all of my auditions until the strike is over.
There you go.
I
Welcome
felt
back.
like the writers are back, the actors are not.
Oh, okay. Oh, thank you for clearing that up. I thought it was all over.
The writers strike is over. They got their deal done. Okay. Actors are still on the picket lines. If you follow SAG-AFTRA and not anybody and no other source, any other source, don't listen. I would follow up with SAG-AFTRA, that is the union. So
got it.
All updates. Anybody, you want to go to sagaftra.org, or if you want to just go to SAG-AFTRA on Twitter and Instagram, and you can keep up with the minute-to-minute goings on of what's happening with the strike. Gotcha, and that's that.
Well, we're halfway there. Halfway there.
Yeah.
At least, damn.
Yeah.
Damn, I'm ready for entertainment. I'm a person who loves entertainment, man. So it's
Same
like...
here.
To go through, not having these writers and these people who are making. I'm not gonna lie. I was trying to watch a damn movie the other day, and I'm searching for 40 years. Like I can't find anything because I'm looking for new stuff. I'm looking for new things to come out, and I'm not saying there's nothing good, but I'm just like, damn, man, I want more. Like greedy in that way. But so let's jump into like your music, man. You did say that you have some new music that's coming out, and I know your song "Every Second Make It Count." You're rocking the hoodie right there. Great song, definitely very transversal song too. Like a lot of different people can listen to it, and a lot of meaning to it and stuff like that. What's going on with the music career?
Well, I August 25th, I just released my new single, Espacion. It's a reggaeton record. I did with a Brooklyn artist, Angie Stars. Shout out to Angie Stars. Thank you for all that you did. This is a record that I wrote 4 years ago. Like I literally wrote this 4.5 years ago, not sure what I was gonna do with it. I had the tune in my head. The lyrics were all I can write. Like writing is fun for me. Yeah. When I'm in the zone, like I just tune everything out and I just do my thing. And basically, once I got done writing it, I said, okay, I'll put it away. And when the time is right, I'll see what I can do. So I want to say last November, I hit up Angie because I met Angie through a music promotion company called Radio Pushers, and I interviewed her. Not on my podcast. This is before I even thought about bringing my podcast back, because I was hosting their podcast, and her and I hit it off right away. Just vibe, and it was just, she's just a really, really good person. So we always said, we always wanted to work together. So I presented her with the song. I kind of hummed it to her, sung it to her, and she was like, "Oh wow, I think this is going to be really good." So she already has a team, so she kind of ingratiated me with her people, and we were able to kind of work together on this whole project, and it just really made it our own. And I wanted to make sure that everybody was included. Shout out to Classic Tunes, who actually produced the track,
awesome.
who was the producer of the record. Angie, like I said, doing her thing. And the one thing I wanted to bring home is that I really wanted her to because she has the first verse and a half, almost, in a sense. Yeah. So I said, initially she was going to do the bridge as far as her 16 bars, but I'm just like, no. I said, I need you to start this record first. I said, because I said, think about this for a second. I said, because you growing up, because she's from Brooklyn. I said, you grew up listening to Biggie? She was like, yeah. I said, you ever listen to Only You by 112?
Why can't we just make it happen? I need you in my life.
Yeah.
Come on, D. Come on, D.
So when you have, but think about this. When you have records like Can't You See by Total, who started those two records?
Oh, yeah.
Biggie did.
Yep.
And he set the table for the rest of the song.
I feel you. Yeah.
I said, and that's what I want. And I said, that's what I want for this. So I gave her full creative control of what she wanted to do. And we did a couple sessions together. Then I ended up finishing the session down here. And, we got she got her video people involved. And shout out to Divine Fury, Edwin, Serge, the whole crew. Sparks, you know the vibes. But we shot the video on July 30th at this place called Reina in New York, and good vibes. Shout out to all the extras that came out. My lead actress, Lynn Chanel, thank you so much for all you did. And we really wanted to it was a legit film crew on set. Like, we had grips, lighting, the whole nine, everything. 2 cameras. I think we had 3 cameras, for this particular shoot.
How do you spell it? Is it Passion?
Yeah, Passion. So SESP. Passion is PASION.
I'm gonna pull up the video. I'm gonna try to play it without sound because they be tripping on YouTube, man.
Yeah, they're a little weird with that, but it's incredible. And I mean, it was everything that I had envisioned, because whenever I write music, and being I'm such a visual person, I write music with a music video in mind. That's how I write music, because I was almost like I'm writing a script, but in a lyrical form.
You want to know that's very interesting, because we come from an age, like, we're not too far in age, but we come from a time where, music videos were extremely meaningful back in the day. God. From Michael Jackson to Janet Jackson, even to, like, the old school rock and roll videos, like, the ludicrousy of you string the guitar and the freaking hair blows up and the cars blow up and the girls dancing on them. And bro, music videos used to be a statement back in the day, and so it does read your caliber, like, taking that and that knowledge, because nowadays you can make a music video in 5 seconds with a damn background and walking in a circle. Not trying to knock, but I'm just being real.
No, and I understand. But for me, I'm all about authenticity, and I really wanted to bring the viewer in as I told this story. This story, Passion, is about a guy that's infatuated with this woman. He can't keep his eyes off of her. And not in a perverted way, but I'm talking about just he's seeing how beautiful she is. She's across the club. She comes in. She's a friend of I'm a bartender, because that's basically what this video is about. I'm a bartender and she's a bartender. We're working at this bar, and Lynn is her. She's friends with her. She walks in, and I'm just like, oh my God. And then she introduces us. We're talking. She slips the number over. I do the Superman thing where I get, well, you know what? Let's show them the video.
We're gonna rock. I'm gonna see if I can play a little bit of it. Let me see if they mess with us.
Yeah, man, a classic. The beat guru.
Yeah.
That production is fire, bro.
Thanks, man.
See it in your eyes. You wanna dance the night away, looking from afar. You wanna dance the night away. Coming closer, the beat takes over. It's a passion over. Seen looking for ya. Es pasión. Es pasión. Pasión. Es pasión. La forma en que me haces el amor. Es pasión. Es pasión. La forma en que me haces sentir es pasión. Es pasión. Es pasión. You got to lock it in, sweeten it, know how they keep it. Dance the night away. Love that you seeking, and love is the best kept secret. Amigo que tú esperas, la noche no te espera. Cariño que te tiene bandolera. Bailemos por amor, lo mejor que desea. Lo mejor que desea es pasión.
Stare across the room as I watch you set the mood. I never saw someone as beautiful as you. All the thoughts that's in my head, making love all night, my bed. You and me, the candles lit, nothing unsaid. Ooh, I'm talking to you, baby. Ooh, you driving me so crazy. Ooh,
Shit looks really good, man.
I wanna make
It looks really good. I'm not even a reggaeton dude, but I'm feeling it. It's hot.
pasión. La forma en que haces el amor es pasión. Pasión. Es pasión. La forma en que haces sentir es pasión. Es pasión. Oh, es pasión.
Okay, alright, D. That shit is hot, bro. Yo, one thing about you I like too, bro. You got a lot of versatility, man. And that's an important factor as well, man. Like, you're one of them type of people that somebody would meet and try to sum up, and you're like, you know, I do that too. And you're like, oh, shit, this guy does everything. Yo, that's incredible, man. That looks really good.
You know,
that's really good, actually.
I'm just one of those people where I don't want to ever put limitations on myself, because the moment that you put limitations on yourself, the other people are going to put limitations on you. So I want to show people, even from a musical standpoint, like, people look at us and they think, oh, R&B and hip hop. And this is no shade on R&B and hip hop. Hip hop just celebrated 50 years of existence that people thought it was going to be a fad. And it's not just a genre, it is a culture. So please understand what I'm saying. But
for sure,
the point is that we're more than that. We're more than that. So I wanted to show people that a black man can do EDM. I can do reggaeton. I do speak a little in Espanol. I speak a little bit, not much, but very poquito. But the point is that I want to be able to, again, going back to the word authenticity, I was not trying to pretend to sing reggaeton. I wanted to do it. And, for real. And I wanted to make sure that it was done the right way. Angie wanted to make sure it was done the right way. That's why I wanted her involved, because I felt as though she gave it the energy, that punch that the song really, really needed. And I wanted to get it there, and she helped me get it there.
Yeah, I think it's amazing, bro. I mean, the video looks unbelievable, and the song is really good. I was even thinking, like, when I was listening to the words, like, okay, you wrote it, like, so you wrote it and you put it together, and everything looks really good. I like how it's like kind of story based. Yeah, it looks really good, bro. I mean, congratulations, man. I'm really glad to see, especially people from like where we, our neck of the woods, and growing up and making moves and making stuff happen and everything. Yeah, you're killing it out here, brother.
Thank you. So, and I just submitted, and I have submitted the music video in several film festivals. So I've submitted, I think, to about 6 or 7 so far, and that's just, we're not even scratching the surface. I'm going to be submitting here and abroad. So
That's
I know,
beautiful.
I know the Berlin Music Video Awards is in June, every June, so I'm going to submit for that again.
There you go.
There's the LA Music Video Awards that's next October. By the time this video came out, it was just too late to submit. So we're looking
Yeah.
at obviously the majority of 2024 of entering
Yeah.
for and a lot of independent music awards and film festivals and things of that nature. So that's the plan for that. Hopefully we
Yeah.
can get some opportunities to perform as well.
For sure, for sure. Listen,
Yeah.
it's always a little crazy to me too, because like I said, I did grow up in the music industry. My father was, trying to manage upcoming talent, and he had his successes and his losses. But one thing I remember is like seeing a video like this, man. I remember watching like them make the videos, and then we watched the what's it called, the poor man copy, and you got it's all grainy and it's whatever.
Yeah.
And then I sit here and I'm talking to Derrick and shit, like, look at this fucking video he made. Like, this is like better than MTV shit right now. Like, and that's what's crazy. It's like, damn, like, just to be talking to you and, know you and stuff like that. And I'm like, yo, this guy's over here making, high caliber like content. It's incredible, man, to know that, people from where we from doing our thing, like, we literally making moves, man. And it's crazy just to, just know somebody that's doing that. You know what I'm saying?
Appreciate it. Thank you.
It's really interesting. Yeah, much power to you, brother. Like, I'm definitely proud to say that, I've experienced your journey a little bit in ways. Speaking of like knowing some people and stuff like that, let's go ahead and finally hit the home run swing here. We're gonna get to start talking about some fun things over here as well that we like talk about. That's wrestling world, yeah. But that's incredible. I want to see what's going on. Hey, Beeline, make sure y'all go check out Derrick C. Lewis, man. As y'all can see, that's just the reggaeton stuff. Like he's got, the every second count. That's like you said. What is the
Electronic
genre?
Yeah, electronic dance music, EDM.
Yeah, electronics. Yeah, and that's a great song too. The video for that is very, it's different and it's new age. That's what I would put it. Just because I don't want to categorize it in any other way. Like you said, if it's not R&B, if it's not that, you're looking for the genre to categorize it in. So we'll see what happens. Look at Tyree. Oh shit, Lamar, what up, brother?
Hey,
yeah,
Lamar,
great,
what's
bro.
up, man?
That was a good video right there, man.
Thank you, man.
Really,
Appreciate
really
it.
good.
Appreciate it.
But,
hey, Lamar, I'll have you on soon. I'll wait for my text.
Oh yeah, that'd be awesome.
What if we're talking about that?
Yeah, we definitely got to do that. Definitely got to do Lamar Tyree on here. But we definitely want to talk about like your journey with wrestling, man.
Yeah.
Now, this has been a passion of yours like your whole life too. Go ahead and tell us how you kind of got into wrestling real quick, and then we can branch off to where you got.
Yeah, so it all happened 41 years ago now, I think. Once you're obviously when you're young and you start to understand and comprehend things when you're starting to remember.
Yeah.
I was about 3 or 4 years old, and my mom was I guess she must have noticed something. Whenever we would sit down and watch wrestling, I didn't move. I would just keep my eyes on the TV. And once I was able to understand and comprehend, I was watching an old promotion on WTBS Channel 17 called Georgia Championship Wrestling. And Ric Flair was cutting a promo. That's how I got hooked to pro wrestling.
Ric Flair.
It wasn't a wrestling match, because I know a lot of kids, they talk about, I saw TLC 1 or I saw TLC 2 or this match. No, how I got hooked was a promo. And I started watching Georgia Champion. That was the first promotion that I ever watched, was Georgia Championship Wrestling. Then, of course, Black Saturday happened. Now, I didn't obviously know what was happening, but then you saw the WWF actually bought Georgia Championship. They bought the time slot for Georgia Championship Wrestling. So you started seeing the WWF. But I started watching WWF, I think, in late '83 when Bob Backlund he was about to lose the title to the Iron Sheik. And Sheiky had that 3-week title reign. And, of course, Hogan beats him January 23rd, 1984, Madison Square Garden, which I saw on MSG Network. Thus, the era of Hulkamania was like wildfire. And I literally just could not get enough. So I was watching the WWF. I was watching the NWA with Jim Crockett Promotions, the AWA. I was watching World Class Championship Wrestling with the Von Erichs. The list goes on and on. Yeah. So I was so ingratiated with everything that was happening when I was old enough to like start getting wrestling magazines when I was like 9 or 10. Now, don't get me wrong. I was getting the WWF magazine. no doubt. But my bread and butter was PWI because I wanted to know what's on the outside world of the 4 promotions that I already watch on TV, but what's happening in these different territories, Oregon, Florida, all these different in the Carolinas and in the Midwest and Canada and Japan and all these other different places. So I was starting to read about a lot of these wrestlers that was all over the country and all over the world. So it just became that. So I always wanted to be in the wrestling business. I always did. I mean, from the time I was little, and I always wanted to go, I was starting to go to the wrestling matches when I was about 18. I started to go, I was at the Survivor Series at Madison Square Garden where a young 24-year-old kid named Rocky Maivia debuted. I was there for that.
Oh shit! Really?
I was there.
Who did he fight? Who was that? He
was in the 4-on-4 Survivor Series match. He was with, if I'm not mistaken, Jake Roberts, Mark Merrow. Oh God!
Damn, I can't remember that match.
It was Mark Merrow, Jake Roberts, Barry Windham, who was known as the Stalker, and Rocky Maivia, and they wrestled Jerry the King Lawler, Goldust, another young man by the name of Hunter Hearst Helmsley.
Yep.
And I forgot.
Oh damn! I didn't remember that at all.
Basically, The Rock and Triple H's first they touched 11/17/1996 at the Garden. They touched the first time in that match. So
holy crap.
You know what I mean? So I was there. So I witnessed that as it happened. The main event was Shawn Michaels defending against Psycho Sid, where the crowd just soured on Shawn the whole entire match. That was the first time when you saw a crowd literally turn. Oh, yep, there it is.
That's crazy, bro.
Rocky Maivia. I was in section 101, row D, seat 12. That was where I sat. I could still hear JR saying.
Your memory is freaking phenomenal too. I remember that shit too. You don't even remember numbers, names.
Let me tell you something. I could still hear JR, and Jean-Paul Levesque was the best match on that card. And that was his last match in WCW before he went to the WWF.
Listen, man, came as Hunter Hearst Helmsley. Did it a little spin every time? Listen, bro. It's crazy how far we've come with this shit, isn't it?
Yeah.
I didn't realize. I can't remember if you told me the last time that Ric Flair was the one who got it started for you as promo. But I know one of the first matches I ever saw as a kid was Ric Flair versus Hulk Hogan. I don't even know what it was. I just know I walked into my father's room and it was late at night, and I don't know if I just woke up or something. But
that was probably 91. That was probably 91. Watching you were probably watching the Garden House show when they wrestled in, I think, December 91. That's when they touched on at Madison Square Garden. And
I remember they were on their barricade. There was one part where they was on a barricade, and that's where I walked in the room and saw it. And I was like, "What the hell is that?" And
that's when Flair went up. That's when Flair went up to the WWF in '91, and they did matches on the loop as they did back in the day. They were trying to test to see if Flair and Hogan could work at WrestleMania, and for whatever reason, Vince McMahon vetoed it.
Damn, I didn't know that.
We didn't get Hogan and Flair because we all thought, because let me tell you something, in the 80s, every independent wrestling magazine always said, what if Hulk Hogan wrestled Ric Flair? Because these are the two giants in the 80s.
Yeah.
Flair in the South, Hogan in the North.
That's crazy. I never really realized they didn't have a match like that. Come to think of it,
their big match was at Bash at the Beach 94 in Orlando. That's what, and they did record numbers for that pay-per-view. So to think that Vince didn't have the vision to think how this could have been at WrestleMania, you know what I mean? And that was not a good WrestleMania at all. WrestleMania 8, I really don't care. That's one WrestleMania I can definitely, I'll skip.
Yeah.
Obviously, the best match. Now, the best match on that card was Roddy Piper and Bret the Hitman Hart for the IC title.
Okay, I remember that one.
And still one of the best finishes I've ever seen. When Piper had him in the sleeper and Bret kicked off, and he pinned him with the pressure on him, and Piper couldn't get out.
Oh damn! Yes, I just think we watched. I haven't watched that in a long time.
Watch that match, Bret. And I tell you, Bret. And this is why I always say that Bret Hart is the greatest of all time. Because if you ever watch King of the Ring '93.
Yep.
I want you to kind of chime. We're gonna break it down a little bit.
Okay.
He wrestled 3 matches that night.
Yup.
The first round against Razor Ramon, the second match against Mr. Perfect, and the final round against Bam Bam Bigelow.
Yep.
3 different styles, 3 different wrestlers, 3 different finishes, which did not include the sharpshooter. And not one of those matches, he did not win with the sharpshooter.
I forgot about that part.
Bret Hart, and that was the one thing I loved about him. I marveled at, because he didn't have to win with his signature move. He can win with anything.
Yeah. Bret was always, while everybody was talking about Hulk Hogan, I was a Hulk Hogan fan too back in the golden era. But I was always Macho Man. I was always not so much Ultimate Warrior, but I liked Ultimate Warrior. But Bret Hart was my guy, bro. Yeah. Bret Hart and the British Bulldog. I used to love both of those guys, especially when we was teamed together when they fought each other at
SummerSlam.
What was it? SummerSlam.
SummerSlam '92. That was still. I mean, the fact that the IC title was the main event of SummerSlam, that lets you know,
bro.
And what's crazy is that SummerSlam was supposed to have been in Washington, D.C. that year, and they end up winning. Really? London won the bit. They end up going to London for that. And of course, with Davey being from England, is one of the reasons why that was the main event. But Bret, he had to deliver. And honestly, people still forget that he lost that match because what was it, a month and a half later, he wins the world title from Flair. At a live event. He won it. There was a Saskatoon, Saskatchewan, Canada, October 12th, 1992. He wins the title. Wins the title.
Your computer, yo.
It's crazy because back then, obviously, we were not living in the social media age.
Yeah,
so that was on Canadian Thanksgiving. That was a Monday night. So clearly, no fan knew what was going on unless you were on the hotlines. So that Saturday when Superstars of Wrestling came on, Vince McMahon said, "We have a new World Wrestling Federation champion, Bret the Hip." I'm like, "What?" I've completely lost my mind. I said, "Someone knew that." You know what I mean? Somebody that was a fresh face. It was great. It was great to see. But
that's.
I was gonna say how I got into wrestling, and I set the table for that. How I got.
Yeah, that was great. That was great.
So I met a guy in 2009 that when I joined Retro Fitness here in Delaware, and the guy that was a general manager at the gym, I said, "This guy looks so familiar." And then I peek inside his office. He had an ECW jacket on. I said, "Wait a minute, you're Bill Wiles." He said, "Yeah." I said, "Dude, I used to watch you, on Madison Square Garden Network at 2 a.m. And we clicked right away. He's a Devil. He was a Devils fan and all that. So we, for whatever reason, I don't know why. Seriously, to this day, I don't know why. He just kind of took me on as like his little brother almost, And we talk wrestling, we talk this, we talk that. And one day he was telling me, he said, "Hey man," because he was a Monster Factory alum. For those that know or don't know, the Monster Factory was started in 1983 by the late Nature Boy Buddy Rogers and the late Pretty Boy Larry Sharp. We just had the Larry Sharp Memorial Cup tournament last weekend. Rest in peace, Larry Sharp. And the most notable student was Bam Bam Bigelow. So that ended up, and there's been so many wrestlers that's come through the factory. The Godfather, D'Lo Brown, Damian Priest, Matt Riddle, my God, the list goes. Cody Vance,
Big Show.
Yeah, Big Show. The list goes on and on. So Felix, referee Felix, that's down at NXT. He wrestled for us at Sammy Miami. So again, it's a lineage. You know what I mean? So he was telling me back in like 2011, 2012, he said, "Hey man, they're revamping the factory. We're gonna be putting on a live event. You should definitely come out to a show." He kept staying on me about coming. So I came out to a show and I was like, okay, it's cool. And then I met Danny Cage, who had taken over the Monster Factory. I met him. I met Larry because Larry was doing commentary at the time. This is a couple years before Larry had passed away. And I love the vibe. I love the environment. I really did. And as a matter of fact, that show 911 from ECW did a run-in.
Ooh,
and I met that is a big mother trucker even now.
Who?
Like that dude, 911.
Oh yeah, the 911. Okay, I know you're talking about.
From ECW, yeah. If you look at this list, think about this for a second.
Look at these guys.
Tatanka, You have Balls Mahoney, got arrested. So you got Rocco Rock from Public Enemy. You have Gilbert, Chris Candido, QT Marshall, the Headbangers.
Raven.
You have you know what I mean? Raven, King Kong Bundy, Virgil, Tony Atlas, Damian Priest. I mean, my goodness, man. You got the Pit Bulls.
And remember, Tony Atlas was Rocky Maevia's partner, right? When they were the Soul Brothers?
Well, the Rocky Johnson.
Rocky Johnson, yeah.
The Soul Patrol, yeah.
Soul Patrol, yeah. Yeah, that's right.
You have, then, of course, in the row back there, you got LSG. You have Steve Macklin. You have Ian Riccaboni from Ring of Honor and AEW. You have Cliff Compton, my boy Shaheem Ali, Nick Komoroto, my little sister Notorious Mimi. That's Felix Fernandez up there, the referee. He's out of NXT. You can see him every Tuesday night. I mean, so look at the Tatanka. You know what I mean?
Crazy.
I met Tatanka finally back in March at at Icons of Wrestling event in Philly, and I had my Monster Factory hoodie on. And by the way, I'm gonna do a plug here. Monster Factory has a 6-part docuseries which can be seen on Apple TV. It is 6 parts, 30 minutes each. You can see yours truly on there. Now, Apple TV has made a decision that they're not going to do a season 2. Bump that. Go check this out. Please, I beg of you. I plead with you. You're going to see the lives of a lot of people in a day in, a day out struggle of the world of professional wrestling. And like I said, you could see what happens in the ring, what happens out of the ring, you know, just the struggles of what people go through. You know what I mean? So
for sure,
that is, to me, what you want to know about life. It goes bigger than pro wrestling.
Yeah.
It's bigger than just pro wrestling. So to me, if you really want to understand, you know, the human spirit in regards to what hard work is really all about and how you get through those struggles, through the triumphs and the ups and downs, check out Monster Factory on Apple TV and tell them Uncle D-Lou sent you there. But anyways.
Most definitely.
So I keep coming around to Monster Factory, and I keep coming around. And I want to say August, I think summer 2018, they had got this like local TV deal where they were going to say, hey, you know, we're going to start doing like weekly TV shows or whatever. So I'm like, and we're having tryouts for people that want to be managers, that want to be wrestlers, that want to be commentators, ring announcers, the whole nine. So I showed up, Dan, and I asked Dan. He said, show up. Okay. Bring a suit. And this guy, Derrick Moore, he's from Rhode Island. He's one of my really good friends. He and I did commentary together. So I completely sucked at it. But we did that. And then it was a couple of wrestlers that, you know, I ended up getting to know that were there that night. They're still wrestling now. And they said, oh, we'll get back to you guys, blah, blah, whatever. So they were gearing up for their September show, September 15th. And I think the week before, I said, yo, Dan, I said, what do you want me to do this Saturday? He said, I don't know, bring a suit, show up. That's it. That's Dan's philosophy. Is like, if you want to be there, show up.
There you go.
We'll handle the rest. I get there and I'm just like, okay, I'm like fish out of water here. Like, I'm like, what the hell? Like all these larger than life. As a matter of fact, Damian Priest is actually, this is before he got signed to WWE. He was still at Ring of Honor, and he was an agent for the Battle Royal. That's why he was there. He was going through a run in at the end of the show, but basically he was the agent for the Battle Royal.
Gotcha.
He was one of the coaches there, so he was still coaching there. And I was just like, I don't belong here. Like, what the frick am I doing? So I ended up being assigned doing backstage interviewing. You know what I mean? And that's how I got my start in professional wrestling. And I was just starting to show up every show. I got to work with Abyss. Abyss wrestled our top heel at the time. And I think I got my welcoming committee that day because I remember doing it. I was interviewing Abyss. I think they screwed him out of the match, some wonky finish or whatever, because he was babyface. Yeah. And I said, ladies and gentlemen, I'm standing here with Abyss, and he just like grabs the mic, yelling in my face, blah, blah, blah. And with authority, because that is a big dude.
Yeah, Abyss is big as shit.
He slapped the shit out of me on my shoulder. I'm like, I said, we'll be right back with more Monster Factory Pro Wrestling in just a few moments. And I sold it because I had to sell that because it's that hurt.
Yeah.
And I had to make him look bigger than what, you know what I mean?
Oh,
and
yeah.
they yelled cut. And he ran over. He said, dude, that was freaking great. He said, that was awesome. He said, how long you been doing this? I said, a month. He was like, he said, he was like, you sold like that? I was like, yeah. He was like, welcome to, he said, welcome. You know what I mean? And a lot of the fun with some of the boys, they were like, I wish I was there. They wish that he had hit, you know, they did that spot, but it was fun. And
yeah, that's awesome.
And then I was able to, I kept showing up, but they were slowly phasing that backstage thing out because the problem I was running into is I'm a lot taller than a lot of the wrestlers.
I was gonna say you're pretty tall, so it's like Abyss is tall, but I mean you're pretty big too.
Right, but the trick is, and I'm gonna give some inside baseball here. Basically, what I would have to do to make someone look bigger is I would have to spread my legs because you're only shooting from the waist up anyways, right?
Yeah. Oh, yeah.
So I have to make myself look smaller and I'm standing behind them to make them look even bigger, to make the illusion that they're bigger.
Got you. Yeah.
You know what I mean?
Play
so we kept running into that problem or whatever. So the ring announcer thing just kind of fell on my lap when they needed me for an event that they were doing in North Jersey. And I never did ring announcing ever. And I remember standing I had never even been in a wrestling ring before, let alone, you know, being a ring announcer.
Yeah.
And I'm standing in the ring and Dan was like, come here. And he was like, can you please stop like you're looking so scared? He said, how long you been watching wrestling? He said, you know what to fucking do. Fucking do it. That's all he said to me.
Yeah.
There was no like, come on, man. He was like, just fucking do it. And I can just remember saying, welcome to Monster Factory Pro Wrestling. And I don't know what that was probably as close to an out of body experience if you ever can get. Because it was just, my head was just like, whoa, 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 whoa. Just like, dude, like hearing the crowd, like, we were at this high school gym and the acoustics was going up. The people were clapping. It makes it sound louder, you know? And I was just like, oh my God. And I'm doing all the I think it might be like 7 or 8 matches. And show's over. You know, we had to, you know, we're packing up. And a few of the boys come over there and say, hey, dude, did you ever do this before? I said, no, I never did. It's the first time ever. And that's when I was basically Derrick Moore's understudy, because Derrick Moore was he was doing, because Stu the announcer had just left. Derrick Moore was going to be the guy. He was traveling for Rhode Island every week, you know, every show. So I was basically his understudy. So he would do 4 matches and I would do 4 matches, but he got the main event because he was a lead guy. And then it got to the point where it's like Derrick, you know, I was starting to do more. And next thing you know, I became, you know, the main ring announcer for Monster Factory. And I had my growing pains, you know what I mean? And it's like, you never stop learning. And
you never did it before.
And the thing is, too, the cool thing is, I hope I'm not like overtaking this show, but I'm.
No, please, bro. This is really good. I love this shit.
The one thing I will say though that is so important, and this is for anybody that wants to get into for anything, whether it's music, whether it's podcasting, whether it's wrestling, whether it's whatever it is, you have to have all 10 toes on the freaking ground. There's no half stepping. And I learned this lesson because there was one show that we did. And this is where you have to show up, where all the wrestlers show up. There was a show we did, and there was going to be a surprise in the show. And I wasn't there when they were doing the rundown when we had the pre-show meeting, because in my mind I'm thinking, oh, I just got to show up and they'll give me the names, I read them off, and I have to do before the show happens, I'll say, here's the rundown for tonight's show. I gave away the freaking surprise. But it was only a handful of fans there. And Danny Cage had every right to rip me a new one and gave me the reason why. And I think I shocked him because people, you know, because if you're in the WWE, Vince McMahon is going to yell at you. You know what I mean? You know what I mean?
Michael Cole said his ears used to bleed.
Right. So
for real.
And then I learned, gotta be here on time.
Oh yeah.
You're not just a ring announcer, you're a part of the show. So I get there just when the boys get there. I got to make sure that, I'm always listening. That's the one thing whenever you hear like podcasts and you hear a lot of wrestlers talking about keep your mouth shut, keep your ears open and listen. That's the part of it, because there's times where I could just be standing at ringside and the guys and girls are just going over the matches. I want to hear what's going on, because if there's like a cue where they say, sometimes I may have to be at ringside to give them the microphone, or if it's something where they have to, I don't want to know the finishes first of all. I want to be, but there's sometimes surprised. I have to, right. But sometimes I have to know the finish because of certain instances that might have to occur. So for me, I have to understand all aspects of the show. I want to know what's going on. So when we're doing a show, when we're doing a rundown, then there's, what are we doing here and here? So I want to know every little piece of the show, so I'm in tune to what everybody else is doing. I'm not taking bumps, but I want to make sure that I want to get every baby face and every heel over. Yeah, that's my job, is to make sure that I get everybody over. It's not about me. I'm just interesting to the show, but my job is to get every single professional wrestler and every talent over.
Yeah. It's really interesting hearing you say this, because and this ain't the wrestling show, but I knew we were going to be talking about wrestling. It's a big part of your career as well, and your passion as well. But in my opinion, and I'm saying it right now, like one of the greatest ring announcers of all time, I might say. Howard Fink is my boy, but Samantha Irvin in WWE right now, man.
Yeah, I love Sam.
Star.
I love Sam for the simple reason, right? She is unique in her own way, because she's a fan, number one.
Yeah, big fan, long time fan. Yeah,
but she does it in her own way.
Yeah,
now me personally, because I'm a historian, I pattern my thing after Finkel. I'm talking about as far as his cadence.
Yeah,
how he says certain words. Like he used to say, like if it was the Intercontinental title, he was like, "The following contest scheduled for one fall, it is for the Intercontinental Championship." Because he was like because you know what I mean. The World Wrestling Federation Championship. You know what I mean?
Oh yeah, I think it was great.
You know what I mean?
Oh yeah.
I learned like there's little things. I'll never forget the when Savage won a title from Flair at WrestleMania. Finkel didn't say "and new." He said, "Ladies and gentlemen, the winner of this bout, and once again, World Wrestling Federation champion, Macho Man Randy Savage." So there's times where someone's winning the title again. Sometimes I'll say "once again" to make it feel really, really special.
Genuine. Shout out to Fink.
I mean? Yeah.
Yep.
Yeah.
Shout out to Fink.
Yes, sometimes, and what I'll even do as well is when we do the Battle Royal, when we do the Turkey Slam Rumble every year, I'll say, "It is now time for the Turkey Slam Rumble. Here are the rules. Earlier, individuals threw numbers 1 to 30, and the first two will come out, and the Rumble will begin. Then, every 90 seconds thereafter, another wrestler will enter the ring. Remember, in the Turkey Slam Rumble, it is every wrestler for themselves. Elimination occurs when a wrestler is thrown over the top rope and both feet. So I go through that whole deal. I have that. That's basically me ripping off the Fink.
Yeah,
I mean that to
honor
the fullest, to honor him.
He
made. I'll never forget when I went to Survivor Series '96, and when he said, "Good evening, New York City," when he did that, it got my heart pumping, bro.
Fink is the man, bro. You forget how good his shit was.
So now when I do "Good evening, Paulsboro, New Jersey, and welcome to that's basically my homage to the Fink.
There you go.
That you know what I mean? So a lot of things, when he does his, like when he gives a decision of a match, for example, let's just say if someone if it's a double count out. "Ladies and gentlemen, here is the referee's official decision. He has ruled this bout a double count." You know what I mean?
There was always.
Here is the referee's official decision.
Yeah.
Because I'm putting the referee over. That what he says is law.
Yeah. You're right. You're right. Yeah, it's crazy that you got to think about that much going into that. You, like you're saying, you're not just a ring announcer, man. And on top of that, just with everything else, like you stated, pretty much everything that you do, you have expressed the importance of the most important thing in anything you do. You got to do it, no matter what. No matter if you're scared, you got to be there. You got to show up. You have to do it, man. And I think that shit, like if you wrote a book, bro, like you should steal Nike shit and just say, just do it on Derrick Lewis story. I'm trying to tell you, because every story you've told tonight, D especially, like I just been attentively paying attention, and everything follows that same, statement. Just do it. Just show up. Just be there. Yeah. And it's working wonders for you, bro, man. Such congratulations on all of your success. I do want to quickly talk before we wrap. The one big thing that happened this year was you were at WrestleMania, freaking interviewing the superstars, man. How did that happen?
I just hit up WWE's PR team, and I just said, hey, I'm looking to I want to be a part of getting press credentials for WrestleMania, and how do I go about doing it? I filled out the application and everything, and they let me know. And as a matter of fact, I was working an event in North Jersey for another promotion, and I got the email that night stating that they gave me press credentials for Mania. So I flew out there. Yeah, I flew out there on a Wednesday. I rented an apartment out there for about like 5 days, rented a car, and I basically was driving to and from. So when I got to town, when I got to LA, I got my car, I checked into my apartment, unpacked, and then I had to hit up a Boys and Girls Club event. It was a Be a Star event that WWE was doing. And I was there, and I had a chance I had to chop it up. As a matter of fact, Xavier Woods and Liv Morgan, literally, they remember me from when they saw me at Wheel a month before, because my episode had just aired the night before, which is crazy. And for Wheel of Fortune, I was on there. That's so crazy. Xavier had remembered me because we were all talking all day.
Yeah.
And
for sure.
So I covered the event
real quick.
Yeah, and I covered the event, the Boys and Girls Club event, and I got an exclusive with Titus O'Neil. Shout out to Titus O'Neil, such a genuine dude, such an awesome dude. And that was me in the New Day at Wheel of Fortune back on February 1st of this year. But
who was your partner at Wheel of Fortune, real quick?
My good friend Sonia Deville, Derrick Bernardo, which was not planned, by the way. No, like number one, when I got the the Wheel of Fortune deal or what have you, I
just gotta say, Derrick, real quick, this shit right here, you gotta chill out, bro. That's my love right there.
Yeah.
That's my baby there, man.
And me and Bailey, we just talking football actually when I on that Wheel of Fortune. But anyways, they were like, hey, you're gonna meet your WWE superstars. I'm like, okay. And next thing you know, when Derrick comes out, and she's like, my partner is Derrick. And she literally had to do a double take because she took off her shades. She was like, oh my God, that's my friend. And we literally, oh my God, it was like the most genuine hug. She was like, this is crazy. You know what I mean? And it was because we hadn't seen each other in so long because she is like ridiculously busy. We text from time to time. I don't like to bug her or anything like that. But
yeah,
the cool thing was, I don't think she even realized it. Yeah, I don't even think she realized I was standing by where she was getting her makeup. She told makeup people how her and I met in 2012.
Oh,
she told them the story about how I literally drove her. I drove her home. I drove her like 2 hours from where we were in New York because she had to get back to her car. And I set up, and that's where we met. And that 2 hours we spent in the car, we just talking. And I'll never forget when she won the tag belts with Chelsea Green a couple months ago. I shot her a text. I just given an abridged version of it, and I just basically said, hey, I said, remember in 2012 when you told me you just want to fucking make it? I said, well, God damn it, you just did. Bro. And she just sent me this crying emoji saying, thank you so much. I love you. I said, I love you too, man. This is still my one of my good friends. And like I said, she's doing such amazing things, in her life. Shout out to her. She's engaged now. So, good on her. But for Mania, getting back to that, I did the like I said, the Boys and Girls Club deal, but then the next morning, really for that Thursday, Friday, I had to go to the WWE hotel and do their press junket. So I had to register and all that stuff, register and get that's what I was gonna do. So I think the Thursday was SmackDown Superstars and the Friday was Raw Superstars. So I had an opportunity to interview. I mean, good grief, man. Everybody,
Yeah,
off the top of my head.
You just
It
saw
was
that
crazy.
the roll right there.
Yeah, it was amazing.
Everybody.
Natty was the first one that day. Then I think I got Shayna Baszler, and the coolest thing was I got to talk to Rhea Ripley. I had to apologize to her. I said, "Hey man, on behalf of every fan, I just want to apologize to you for like all the BS she had to put up with at the airport, where fans were literally showing up."
I saw that.
That shit. It was crazy. It was ridiculous. Yeah. But the questions that I was asking, literally, I had nothing prepared. I didn't, and I just went with my gut. And no questions resembled the other from every wrestler that I talked to. So
that's awesome.
Just to be in that space and all that was pretty cool. They get, obviously I got to go to SmackDown and cover that. And then of course I go to WrestleMania both nights. They had us in the press box. It was awesome. It was really cool. Good experience. SoFi Stadium is amazing. And I got to, hang out with some old friends of mine that I hadn't seen in years. It was a really, really good vibe, and
awesome.
I remember the morning of the Thursday press junket. This is where it gets a little emotional. I'm nervous. I'm like, yo, I'm really here. It really starting to hit me. Crazy, and I remember I had to call Danny Cage. I had to call him, and it went to voicemail, and I literally broke down, leaving him a message, thanking him for everything he did for me.
Yeah.
Everything. And he texted me back and he said, I didn't do shit. Like, you got yourself there. He said, you he was just really putting the shine on me. He was like, no, you got yourself there. You work hard, you got yourself there. So, and after that, after I got that text message, I got myself together. I'm like, all right, dude, you gonna do this. And to me, contemporaries, like the great Sean Ross Sapp, shout out to SRS. He's such a good dude. Yeah. That's one of the guys online when it comes to breaking news and doing it the honest way. You get in, you look at guys like him and all the people at Fightful. Make sure you because Twitter doesn't have the verify thing anymore. So make sure it's
I never even noticed that.
Yeah, because there's a lot of phonies out there that's trying to pretend to be this person or that person. So anyone from Fightful, that's reporting, especially Sean Ross Sapp, you follow them. Chris Van Vliet's a good guy. He does more interviews than breaking news. But John Alba, he does a lot of press stuff too. And I know John Alba. I've known John about 2 years now because he also works at the Monster Factory. He's a heel manager of this group, World Renowned. So
okay,
shout out to John Alba. He just got it. He got a new gig at SNY. Sports New York channel. He's doing, I think he's going to be on at 11 o'clock tonight. So for those of you in the New York, New Jersey, Connecticut area, make sure you check out John Alba tonight. But just and meeting Ariel Helwani, you know what I mean? Like from I was like, dude, like I'm meeting people that are like heroes of mine in this game. So just to be able to chop it up, Chris Van Vliet's a good dude. I met him. The list goes on and on of the people that I met. I got to chop it up with Booker T for a little bit, Adam Pearce for a little bit. It just felt like, damn, I really, really belong here. And
bro, I'm trying to tell you, you do with your knowledge and your history. Like, you could tell you're one of them type of people you're good with data, man. Data doesn't you're good at withholding information, like the way you spread out numbers and you're very good with that.
My dream job someday would be to work at WWE and get a piece of that network action. And I'm talking about doing historical pieces and covering event, let's talk about this event or that event or this SummerSlam or this Survivor Series or what have you, whatever it is. Like, I want to do that type of stuff because I have over 40 years of product knowledge with them.
Yeah.
So
you're
I would
good.
love
You'd be perfect for that shit.
Yeah.
You'd be perfect for that, bro. Yeah, on some real shit. Like, honestly, just like from talking to you, like, this is our we've talked for a while now.
Yeah.
This is definitely our this is definitely your strength. I can see you doing that with no problem, recovering old matches and covering it well enough to sit there and keep you informed and literally be able to watch your episode and be like, man, I know everything about that time period, what was happening, where it was, how. Yeah, I definitely can see that. So WWE, if you're watching, listen, I'll be talking shit about you sometimes, but I love you. But please go get my boy Derrick, man. You got somebody out here that's going to, be doing amazing things for you. Derrick, man, it's been an absolute blast having you on the show. This has been I'm not gonna lie, one of my favorite episodes since I've been back. And no hate to everybody, I love all you guys, but this has been incredible, man. I really enjoyed this. Great information, very inspiring story once again. Like I said, the first episode we had, it went up in the air. I have no idea. That was a great episode. Yeah, but this one right here, this is live. Y'all been watching, and guys. Definitely make sure you guys go check out Derrick T. Lewis. He's on Instagram. He's on Twitter. He's got a podcast. He's got so much stuff going on. And as you see, if you're a wrestling fan, if you're a music fan, if you're acting, and, hit him up. Hit some of these people up, man. Don't even just be fan. Like, hey, Derrick, you got any advice for me? I'm trying to, make it. This guy, he does it, man. He's been doing this shit, and I respect you much. Even Jarrell and Tyree, thank you guys so much. Y'all introduced us and stuff. That's my blood right there.
Also, and I just want to say this much too, for the month of October, because it is Breast Cancer Awareness Month. Yeah. I have 2 breast cancer awareness. Because it's basically a pink version of this hoodie, and it's also a T-shirt. All proceeds that I generate from all sales from those particular 2 shirts will be donated to the Breast Cancer Research Foundation. Sorry. So the BCRF, and you can find them on all social media. So I've tagged them in all their stuff. So whatever I generate sales wise will be donated directly to them for a very, very worthy cause.
That's incredible, bro. Let me go ahead and pull it up here too, so you guys can check it out. Derrick T. Lewis got the store going. Looks great. All right, there you go. I see it right here. Every second make it count. It's awesome, bro. I'm really, really enjoying it. Looks great. Definitely make sure you guys are supporting, man. These guys are coming on here doing amazing things and really showing out everything. Listen, Derrick, man, once again, it's been a super honor having you back on the show, brother. Anytime, bro. Anytime you want to come on, talk wrestling, for sure. We got to do a Fastlane predictions. I didn't realize Fastlane was this Saturday, man.
Yeah, I know.
These pay-per-views are flying recently. Yeah, they are. But it's been a lot of fun. But definitely, man, anything in closing? You want to say anything else? Anything else we got to know?
Well, once again, I just want to say thank you, for bringing me on once again. And that was just an honor and privilege for me. All I'll just say is, go to my social media and check out all that's going on, with the podcast, the music, obviously, the streaming it, the video, you name it. Look at all my things in archives for wrestling, with acting and everything. So just, stay tuned with everything. All of my social media, with the exemption of Facebook, is at The Real DT Lou. Facebook is Derrick T. Lewis official page. That is it. That's the only one that's not The Real DT Lou. So you look me up on there, and just, like, subscribe, or what have you. If you want to subscribe to the podcast, whichever platform that you're on is on iHeartRadio, Apple Podcast, Spotify. But I believe it's Amazon Music. The podcast is on there also. So like I said, just go to my link tree in all my bios, and you'll be able to just follow everything that's going on.
Beautiful, beautiful. Really appreciate it. Beeline, listen, thanks again for watching. You guys have been unbelievable. Thank you for the support in the comments and stuff like that. Once again, definitely go check out Derrick T. Lewis. He's all over the place doing big things, man. We're going to definitely bring him back on. But straight through the ropes, Wrestle Talk, I will let you guys know. It's probably going to be some time this week because Fastlane is Saturday. So we're going to definitely, talk about what's going on. It's been a lot of fun stuff in wrestling. AEW. So listen, what an amazing AEW. Edge popping up in AEW, bro.
Yeah.
I was saying, you see Edge and Christian and then the Hardys, and just to see another one on match, they got to be doing that. That's got to be in the works, man, to do that tag team match one more time. I would love to see it. So I might start watching AEW, y'all. I don't know. We changing up over here.
I'll actually be at AEW on October the 25th for Dynamite and Rampage. So I will be seeing the Rated R superstar Adam Copeland there. You can't use Edge anymore. So
Adam Copeland. You know what's crazy to me? He still used the song. I thought that maybe WWE would have the rights for that.
Well, no. That's Alter Bridge. And he has a really, really tight-knit relationship with them. The only thing they had to change was the You Think You Know Me sample, because WWE owns that sample, You Think You Know Me, because that's a Jim Johnson thing. So they had to just do another voice for that. But that's Alter Bridge. So
yeah,
Tony Khan has the licensing for Alter Bridge, and they can use it.
Oh, beautiful. Well, glad to see everybody's doing something, and they're really making moves over there in AEW and in WWE, and everybody's doing good. I love watching wrestling, so it's plus for all of us, man. That's it. Yo, Beeline, I love you guys so much. Until next time, of course, see you on Thursday. I believe that's Thursday's going to be the next show, but stay true, stay positive, pay attention, baby, and follow your dreams, man, and make sure you just do it. Be there. Go there. Make it happen, man. Don't have excuses. There's a billion of them. Just do it, bro. No money, no this, no that, no car. My cat didn't feed. Listen, just go do it and get it done, yo. Listen, I love you guys, man. Have a great night. Derrick, have a great night, my brother. Stay up, man. Great episode.
Take care.
Take it easy.